I no longer think of what I'm doing as in kind of highfalutin terms like I used to. I kind of used to think, you know, in terms of art and all that sort of stuff, and now I think of it more like my job, you know.
He's very childlike, sort of very sweet and very enthusiastic, and he sort of bounds around.
Like really enthusiastic like that, and just really like, and you know, really enthusiastic about things.
I mean, he's too tall and he can be quite lumbering. He's probably developing a stoop.
He's legally a giant. He doesn't like things which, you know, he sees as kind of easy laughs, you know, whatever, doing something kind of dirty sexually, or
he doesn't like
swear
curse
words, those
yeah.
kind of things, you know.
Adult television shouldn't mean pornographic, you know. Adult television should mean stuff that isn't, you know, intended basically for kind of adolescents aged 30.
He wants to keep this great kind of spirit of fun about his work, and I think that's why it will endure.
He's one of the top people in the sort of comedy world of television at the moment. You know, someone whose opinion I trust and taste I trust. Yeah.
He's hugely important and extremely influential.
You gonna chase me for the cameras? No.
And he's part of a very, very select group of very, very, very talented people working in comedy.
What, you chasing me? Oh no! Oh no!
It's interesting that Graham has written for shows which on paper are very different. With Val's show, Father Ted, Big Train, Brass Eye, you couldn't sort of lump them together and say
eclectic.
It's this type of comedy. But, you know, again, it's because he's a funny writer, he can write for all those different types, I think.
I hope it doesn't sound arrogant when I say that I am the greatest man in the world.
At the moment, I'm working in the business of sitcoms. When it works, it's like creating a nice watch, you know? It's just a nice little craft that gives you great satisfaction.
He creates worlds, and those worlds have their own logic, and that's how, you know, a lot of the most adventurous comedy you can have still has to have logic, and he's great at that.
The show I'm working on at the moment is called The IT Crowd, or The It Crowd. The original reasoning behind the name was the idea that these guys were very much not the in crowd. They were the opposite to that. They're very unfashionable, very nerdy and geeky. And an IT department, I realised, oh, that's quite a good Cheers bar, you know, for a sitcom.
And I think Graham wanted to write something that was family-based, that there was no swearing, that was accessible, that was silly. You know, there isn't too much of that kind of stuff around at the moment.
Graham had just came up with the idea and said, were we interested? And, you know, in someone in my position, when somebody like Graham says, are we interested, you don't say, let me think about it. You say, I'm extremely interested, come in and talk to me on Monday.
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Everybody knew about those people. We have them here, those very nice people who sort all our computers out and keep us alive.
The driver hooks a function by patching the system call table, so it's not safe to unload it unless another thread's about to jump in there and do its stuff. And you don't want to end up in the middle of invalid memory. Hello?
It was fairly easy for us, I have to say, to go with that quickly. I know, we were delighted to have it, and we encouraged him to do it as fast as he could.
This is the first series that I've written on my own, and it's very important to me because it's funny, but you see the world, you've no choice but to see the world through your own eyes. And the way I see the world is, and it's ridiculous, I shouldn't think this way, because it's not true, because no one thinks about the writer. You know, one thing I've noticed down through the years is that the writer is the last thing on people's minds. And that is a kind of testament to the show working, in that people just kind of just think it kind of exists anyway, you know. So I thought, but because I'm me and because, you know, your ego is what it is, I was thinking, I bet people think I can't write a comedy on my own. I bet that's what people think. It's like people aren't thinking about me, you know. They're thinking what I'm thinking usually, which is doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. No, I still feel like I'm kind of still working towards what the show should be. First series was good, but lots of things wrong with it. Second series is much better, but I still feel that there's like this plexiglass between us and how good it can be. But it's getting there, it's getting there. It's kind of creeping towards being right. Good morning. Morning, hello, how are you? Hello. How's it going? One of the reasons I like doing studio sitcoms is because every week you bring in your script, you read it on Monday morning, and then you have a whole week to work on it, to make it funny, to rehearse it, to rewrite it until it's really a beautiful little shiny piece of work that everybody's proud of. I'd rather it has to be kind of disgusting so that whatever it is, when someone comes in, it would have an impact on anyone, not just Derek, on anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Lick a tramp?
I'd rather lick a tramp. That's great. I'd rather... Oh no, I'd never smoke again. I'd rather lick a tramp. Nothing ever stays the same, whether it's just a word coming off the end of a sentence that's meaning a joke is never quite reading or something like that. You know, you just can't rest on your laurels.
Oh, just one last thing. We also fixed this for you. Only problem with it is that it's got a very weedy vibrate setting. You may need to put the setting the whole way up to 10.
10, you say?
10,
As he crosses, he raises.
Will do.
Everybody's under pressure because we'll be showing it to an audience at the end of the week, and the audience might, you know, they might not laugh.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, good God. Yeah, nearly at the station now.
Nearly at the station.
Getting everything right for a sitcom, you have to somehow have a zeitgeist in it. A thing which says, yes, this is about the way we live today. You have to somehow have a principal character or principal characters that really impress themselves on your mind so that you also find yourself secure with their comic creation. And then the writing has to be good as well.
I admire the fact that Graham can write on his own, because I think if I had to write on my own, I would for about 15 minutes. And then I'd go and, I don't know.
Look at some pornography.
No, I'm not actually. I'd be more likely to just go off and do a poo. And then, I don't know, come back, eat some crisps, watch something on BBC Three. I don't know, what would you do? You're quite disciplined. You actually would do some writing.
I'd be able to sit there for about 20 minutes.
Right.
Now, it is really hard on your own, and you don't have that reward of kind of, you know, you might laugh on your own, but you start to feel like a bit of a madman. You know, what I'm writing is so hilarious.
I've got my own mobile phone number is down here under notes. So whenever I think of something funny, I'll send myself a text, and it comes up as notes, and then I just transfer all my notes onto this. I can't keep a notebook. I try, but I just can't.